this is a better approach, I believe, in going from stage 1, the first video, to stage 2. Okay. I talked a little bit about in the first one of being able to sort of, get different rhythms, and obviously we've got the pick going on a certain angle, and we're using the fingers to do the work. What we're going to do is work here on primarily muted guitar. So the left hand really isn't doing anything, okay? It's going to be a lot of just dead mute notes. So we won't be really playing anything. The idea here is to really just create a dead sound. Okay, so this is doing nothing. It's really here that's what we're working on, okay? What we're going to do is just start with a metronome. So I suggest you just get your own metronome on. I'm just using 115 beats a minute. I'm going to go through these exercises quite quick, so it's not a massively long video, but you should be able to get the concept of what I'm talking about. Just to sort of recap, we talked about bending the thumb. Now, I know what Jim talked about, whether he's got his finger straight or bent. I use my finger bent. If this doesn't feel comfortable, try it your way. I think what's important is to actually make sure the pick is hitting the angle, not straight, but on an angle. So it is coming on that sort of, 50-degree angle or something like that. And we're using the pick muting technique, which is just down, mute, up, down. So it's just recapping it. If I bring my guitar a little bit closer here, this concept of when my pick hits the strings, it goes down, and then it sort of rests on the up. So I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's down and it rests on the up, and then it rests on the down. It's that concept of keeping the movement very, very simple. Now you can see, just look at my thumb, it's moving ever so slightly at doing that. But again, just trying to exaggerate it so you can see my pick here. It's going down, resting on the up, up, down. So that's all my pick is moving. It's not going like that. Okay, it's about training your hands to try and get that very, very precision going on here. And using the dead beats, the dead notes, it should help you focus on that before you start doing anything with the left hand, okay? So rather than playing, 16th note triplets and 16th notes, or 6 notes per beat, or 4 notes per beat, what we're going to do is get the metronome up around 115, which is, you probably hear that, right? And so if we just deaden our strings, so there really is no, hopefully you can hear that this time on the tape. Okay. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just picking the D string, and it's just dead, right? So it's, what I'm doing is I'm playing basically triplets and 8th notes. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that's your 8 notes. And so that's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, I'm going to bring that close to the camera here. See how much my finger's moving there? It's just tipping the string. Okay? Then when we've got triplets, it's just 1 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2. And so when we do that, that's at 115 BPM, just breaking it down again, the anatomy of it. It's really simply on 1 string, just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. We want to really be focusing the mile markers on the beats, okay? So even though we're playing the triplets here, because when we get slower and we're doing 16th note triplets and 16ths, again, you just want to be focusing on the main beat. So if you're playing 6 notes, you're really focusing on the first of the 6. So on this one though, we're going 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Now, what's interesting is, as I'm going down, up, down on the dead notes, if I want to accent, and I'm going to exaggerate it here, I just can straighten my thumb out a bit, and it gives me a... You see that? Can you hear that accent? Now, obviously I'm exaggerating it, but I'll get my point across that you've got you've got dynamics in the way you angle the pick, right? But for this moment, without getting too technical, let's just keep on the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and getting that 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4. That sort of triplet back to 4. So if we get the metronome on the dead note, and 2 and 3. Right? Now that will ingrain in your head. You'll get that sound, right? And it's really important just to get that really accurate and precise. This is about precision, not about speed at this point in time, okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to keep the dead notes, but we're going to start changing strings. So now what we're going to do is we're going to change from the D to G string, so we're going to go down, up, down on the D, and then down, up, down on the G. Okay? Down, up, down, down, up, down. Then we're going to come back up, down, up, down, up. So we break it into 2 patterns, down,